Hello and welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Todd Anderson.
I'm Ross Merriam.
We got Rob over in the booth. Make sure to at SCG Tour in the Twitch chat if you have any questions, comments, or burns for him. Today we have gone through two matchups featuring some cards from War of the Spark in Standard. First matchup we had a Mardu Aristocrat style deck, much more aggressive slant featuring Hero Precinct 1, as well as the two new cards in Cruel Celebrant and something Horde Zombie.
Dread Horde Butcher.
Dread Horde Butcher. And those two multicolored cards gave, I believe, an extra facet of aggression for something like Hero Precinct 1, as well as a level of consistency that I really liked. The deck we paired it against was
Selesnya midrange with really built around Tulsimir. Had some other new cards, Vivian, Champion of the Wilds, but Tulsimir was the big one. You know, just didn't really, was really hinging on Tulsimir to win at the aggressive matchup. Didn't draw it enough in that one. Definitely going to need some more tools there. But the card itself, Tulsimir, was quite impressive. So definitely something to watch out for. And I'll be writing about that card later this week. So you can check that one out on StarCityGames.com.
Second match, we had Ral, Conduit of Storms in a Temur Reclamation strategy, as well as Ral's Outburst. This card, Ral's Outburst, I think, was something that really put Temur, or gave Temur Reclamation extra added benefit of being able to spend your turn to cast the Wilderness Reclamation, as well as get full value out of that 4 mana. And we were only playing 3, and the first thing I wish I had done is play 4. Whenever I cast it, it felt quite good. Obviously, limited to 3 damage, so it doesn't kill everything. Things like Wildgrowth Walker can get a bit out of control, but we can kind of build our deck in such a way where our removal cells kind of fill those gaps, playing some stuff like Lava Coil early on to give us a bit more of higher damage output whenever we're trying to kill stuff, and also maybe just even lowering our curve a bit just so we can play more Search for Escanta, cheap removal, and then using things like Chemiser's Insight and Ral's Outburst to help churn through our deck to find those big expansion explosions.
Yeah, Ral's Outburst certainly impressive against a heavy creature-based Simic Proliferate deck, but I was able to apply too much pressure, had some good disruption in the post-board games, but it was really just that early pressure. We saw the Proliferate synergies come together in game 1. It was really impressive with Evolution Sage and Jangu, so I might look more towards what we can do with that card, because it's definitely a really interesting one, just getting free, consistent Proliferates over and over again, and you know, even on the 3/2 body, definitely something worth looking into. So,
all right.
One last match today.
Yep. Third and final match. I'm going to be playing an Ari Lax Brew. This is built around the card Neofrom. I think that's it. Neofrom, yeah. So 2 mana sorcery, sacrifice creature, search your deck for a creature that costs exactly 1 more than that creature, mana cost wise. Put it on the battlefield and put a +1/+1 counter on it. Now, this works pretty well with things like Incubation Druid. You can sacrifice a Land of Elves and go get an Incubation Druid and kind of give you a good start to hitting a bunch of really expensive stuff early on. But more than anything, it kind of just mirrors some stuff we've seen in the past. Things like Eldritch Evolution, allowing you to tutor through your deck for these like really powerful creatures at a pretty reduced rate.
Yeah, you know, 2 mana, this is the cheapest of this effect I think we've seen. You know, it's not repeatable, but the extra +1/+1 counter is also really nice because you can exploit some synergies there. And we already have Vanifar, so it just gives you a more consistent way to enact that kind of value-esque game plan, and that's what you're doing here.
Yeah, and this deck is built around those 2 cards, the Vanifar and the Neoform, and we have a toolbox package of things we can find, like an Exclusion Mage here and things like that. Creatures you'll see a lot with second live, so that when I sacrifice them, that's not that big of a deal. Yeah. Or a lot of creatures with great enter the battlefield effects, so that when I do Neoform for them, I get that immediate value to kind of recoup that sacrificed creature. Yeah,
there's a tension between wanting creatures with good ETBs versus creatures with good die effects, because you want to be sacrificing creatures with the dies effects, especially ones that will affect the battlefield. Because what you're doing when you're activating, you know, Vanifar or casting Neoform is you're not actually advancing your battlefield. You're trading one creature for another. You're upgrading. Right. But if you can get it to where that creature leaves something behind when it dies, and you notably have Rekindling Phoenix, which will keep coming back if they can't kill the egg token, then you're not losing any of your battlefield position while casting Neoform or activating Vanifar. So it's really important to have enough enablers, and for years we saw Voice of Resurgence as the key one that really elevated the Birthing Pod archetype alongside Kitchen Finks. It gave it that critical mass of creatures that stuck around in some respect when they died. So you need a good number of those, and not just the creatures with good ETB effects. But you do want the toolbox is really where you get the ETB effects, like the Exclusion Mage to bounce a creature, usually some sort of Flameton Kavu Necrotal effect to kill a creature, Disenchant effect like Reclamation Sage, all of those things. But those are usually your one-ofs, and then your bread and butter, your 3 and 4 ofs that you want to draw a lot of are the creatures that have good dies abilities.
Right, something like Kitchen Finks or whatever, where you don't mind if it dies, but also like can trigger multiple times. We saw that be the linchpin with Bursting Pod back when that deck was still legal in Modern. So that's the deck I'm playing, Neoform a la Ari Lax. If you want to check out his list and article, make sure to head over to StarCityGames.com after Versus Live today and read the full thing. What are you playing?
I am playing a Rakdos Aggro deck. After last week when you first played Dreadhorde Butcher in a mid-range shell and it didn't really impress, I wanted to play it in something more aggressive. We already saw you do this with Mardu in match 1 today, but I am playing just a straight aggressive deck. We've pared the mana base down to just Rakdos. I'm still a little bit worried about the mana base, in part because I had to go up on lands to get the right color counts. So the deck has a few too many lands from where I'd want, probably 1 too many.
I think you just don't have enough Rakdos Guildgate. That it would have fixed everything. Just play more Rakdos.
Would it have?
I don't know.
But we're not playing too many sacrifice outlets, just the Fireblade Artists and enough to make that good with Gutter Bones, a couple Footlight Fiends. I can sack Butcher if we want to. We still have the Judas, but we're a really low curve. A lot of 14 1-drops. So our Judas are going to be really good and really explosive. And then we have a lot of reach. We've got some Lightning Strikes along with the Fireblade Artists and the Butchers. So and then good removal from black. We got some cast downs. Notably, Vanifar and Rekindling Phoenix are both difficult for my removal suite to answer. So,
well, you do have Fanatical Firebrands and Judith, so there's a chance that you can kill the egg token from Rekindling Phoenix pretty easily.
Yeah, things can team up, but this is just going to be a straight Rakdos Aggro deck. We'll see, how long it takes you to set up your engine, and if I can close the game before that engine really starts taking over.
Yeah, I saw the top cards of your deck. I was just looking through your deck for a second. I was curious if a lot of your creatures shared creature types. That way you could just play Unclaimed Territory as your splash land, but I don't know if you can.
They do not.
All right. I also kind of wanted to mulligan because my 7 had my 1 Wild Growth Walker. I don't think that's fair. I got more in the sideboard. I can become that Jade Light Explore deck or whatever. And with Neoform, you can just continually find more and more of that same type of effect, which is pretty sweet. Just gives you that added level of consistency. But all right, let's take a mulligan or take a look to see if we need to mulligan and then figure things out.
I'm good.
I'm also good. Let's just go and play some Magic, huh?
Sure.
Right. I won. I lost.
You lost last match.
Right.
You're up.
Go.
I will go to 18 and play a Diagraph Ghoul.
Excuse me? Well, you kept doing it to me.
I know.
All right. I need to hit lands, and if my creature gets killed with a removal spell, if it's Incubation Removal, that's pretty bad. So let's just dig for land. Go.
Not sure how I want to do this. So I have basically 3 options. None of them are particularly good. For this turn, I like this option the most, but I think it makes my next turn worse to do that. And I really don't want to make this trade, though. Okay, I guess I'm just going to do it this way and kill that thing and attack.
All right, minute 18.
You can go. Not very happy with that turn.
If we draw a land here, we didn't. I was going to play Incubation Druid, but because we missed, and I kind of just want to hit my land drops, we'll just do that and say go.
Okay. Now we get to go Firebrand, kill this thing, Dreadhorde Butcher, attack for 3, get a counter.
All right, that's pretty good.
So you're at 15, you can go.
Land?
So many Branch Walkers.
Yeah, it's not even that good, though. Go. I just want to draw lands.
We've got a Judith here.
Okay.
Let's just mush.
Block here. We're gonna
So you're going to take 3 from regular damage, go to 12.
3 from that damage.
And then 3 from this and 1 from Judith.
Yeah.
So you're taking 7, brings you to 8.
Yep.
And then I'll play Swamp Diagraph after combat.
Ross, is there a reason you're not playing Spawn of Mayhem?
Yeah, that's that's a bigger card we could have. I wanted to have a really low curve to maximize Judith. But and then I added there's a couple play crafters as the other 3-drop, just because I wanted some ways to get rid of my Dreadhorde Butcher in the main, and I didn't want to play Priest of Forgotten Gods. But I could see Spawn of Mayhem being better than Playcrafter if you find that you don't really need that effect. I was just trying to push the synergies a little bit harder.
Go to 6. Wild Growth Incubation Druid. Your turn.
I have a Playcrafter, which will kill you. So I just sacrifice my Playcrafter, bring Todd to 5, and then have 2 3 powers and a 2-power creature attacking.
We'll play one more pre-board. Gonna be quick games either way. I think my creatures outclass us pretty quickly, so if I can get a foothold on the battlefield, I should be okay. But there's a lot of cool little synergies in Ross's deck that are gonna be pretty tough to beat without like a stabilized draw. Like you saw me there, like I missed a land drop 1 turn, and it just completely knocked everything out of whack. And I kept being forced to play my Merfolk Branchwalkers instead of my other creature just because I didn't have lands to play. So
yeah, if you'd been able to like play Incubation Druid instead, or even Double Spell.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep this hand, but it is quite bad, I think, for this matchup. But I think on the play, there's a chance that I just draw out of it, which is nice.
Okay, my hand is fine. Yeah, definitely a keep.
All right, your turn.
I will go to 18 and play a Footlight Fiend. Pass.
This is the better of those for me, just because it doesn't hurt that bad early on. Play an Arc Bow and say go. Hope we don't get bedeviled.
This is an interesting one. I'll play Dreadhorde Butcher, mush for 2, and get a counter.
All right, 18.
18 all, you're up.
All right, I'm going to go to 16 and Exclusion Mage the Dreadhorde Butcher. Put you to... Oh, no, sorry. Me at 16.
Summit Judith, mush for 2.
I think I just block.
So you take 2, 1 from Judith, 1 from Fiend.
Yeah, 14.
14 you can get.
Just taking so much damage from these. Let's go to 12 and play Rekindling Phoenix and say go. Sorry, next turn we might just stop casting spells and just start using Arc Bow every turn. Just depends. This matchup is not one where I really feel like I have a lot of time for Neoform. If I had more like Flame Tongue Kavu type cards that came in and killed a thing, and those would be a little bit better. I think after sideboard, when I actually get 3 more Wild Growth Walkers, I actually get a lot more use out of Neoform.
Play some creatures.
Okay.
Pass the turn. Let's use this turn to set up. Hope things don't go too badly.
Go.
You're 12?
Yep. Probably dead. Judith represents quite a bit of damage in general. Cool thing about Phoenix here is that even if I block something like Judith, the Phoenix is not going to be on, or the egg's not going to be on the battlefield for Judith's ability to target. So he's going to have something else on top of that to potentially kill the egg. Whether it's, I mean, he could just sacrifice a creature or whatever. It's not that hard, but. Arcbow is also a lot better once you have a bunch of Wild Growth Walkers because it allows you to potentially just dig for more Wild Growth or more explore creatures. But here, like, if we miss, we just die. So I think I just have to play Prize Seeker Vanifar.
Cast down the Phoenix.
All right, we get an egg.
Send in the clowns.
All right, so if I block here and here, I take 6. This dies, I take 7. This chumps, but I don't get Phoenix back. But I don't... The Judith is gone. I think that's fine, so I'm going to block like this.
Okay, so you take 6, go to 6. This dies. I'll deal 1 to you. You go to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll Lightning Strike the Vanifar.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I guess if I hit Jade Light, allows me to play lands, I might want to use the Neoform, so let's just do that. We'll discard an Incubation Druid, top 3. You know, Llanowar, but it's not quite good enough.
I've seen better.
Yeah. Then, say go. But yeah, game 1, Neoform looking quite bad here in this matchup just because our creatures are just always having to trade. But that's kind of the downside to cards like Neoform in general. Like, we just have not had a spot yet where we wanted to do it.
If I attack with everything, then probably just O2 here and
probably block Gutter Bones.
Yeah, I probably have to trade. Going to 1 with this in play is not tenable, really.
Yeah.
So if that's your play,
you can also just do this and chomp and get rid of the Butcher.
Then yeah, then you'd get rid of the Butcher and go to 2.
Bad though.
Yeah.
That's how you're attacking. I am going to block like this, I think. So, pretty sure you should attack like that.
What happens if I just attack like this?
Just
same thing, basically.
Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Block here. Go to 3.
Then I will play a Acrobat and return Gutter Bones.
Okay.
Pass turn.
Draw off turn. Alright, Arcbow for 4. And I can still Neoform if I need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jade Light, that's nice. Land, and I think I am just gonna Neoform it this. So we get a 3-drop. Probably just gonna be another Jade Light. We already gone through our Exclusion Mage. It gives us more fuel for potential Arcbow. So we also just kind of want to get something that has 3 power so that we could potentially. Why would you do that?
It
it already enters with 1. Yeah, sorry. Good call. I guess I could get Legion War Boss, but that seems kind of bad. Alright. Neoform. I think I just want to graveyard it. Right. And land. Go. And now I'll just start Arcbowing for 6 or whatever every turn, if I survive, but I'm probably dead.
Gutter Bones. Playcrafter.
Okay.
That'll kill you.
Yep.
Todd's at 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to play Neoform, you have to have Wild Growth Walkers. I just have not had time to set things up.
Yeah. You saw both Phoenix and Vanifar were awkward for me to deal with, but Todd's it took enough time to set up that I was able to, awkwardly answer those creatures and still be okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the Neoforms in, but this is not the matchup for them. We need to become like a Temur value deck after sideboard, but we're gonna take a short break here while we get things set up. If you have any questions for us, make sure to add them in the Twitch chat at SCG Tour. Rob's gonna pick his favorite, but give us 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
So we got our extra removal effects. Priest here should be pretty good against a removal light deck. We don't have a ton of things to sacrifice to it, but it's so good with Gutter Bones that I'm willing to bring it in here. I am cutting Plaguecrafter, which is a little weird when we're bringing in Priest, but I do think these cards are pretty different kinds of effects, even though they both ostensibly force the opponent to sacrifice creatures. The one shot usually isn't that good, whereas the repeatable effect from Priest can take over the game. I'm also cutting Hackerbat, as I just think the weakest 2-drop in the deck, although I think it's a card that is a little underrated. I think it is a constructed level Magic card, but I need to bring in some other things. I need another cast down to help deal with Wild Growth Walker, and then I'm trying one Frenzy just because I want a little bit more late game here to contend with Todd's postboard configuration, which will almost assuredly have more removal. We might go a little bit bigger and have more Frenzies if we start losing some other games, but I definitely want to see how Angrath plays out, because I think Angrath is a card that plays really well with Judith and Dreadhorde Butcher and stuff. Just makes it so difficult to block and amplifies the reach in the deck. So we're going to maintain our aggressive stance to some extent here, but we might pare back even more and go for more of a frenzy plan if we need to.
All right, my side, obviously the Wild Growth Walkers are quite good in this matchup. After sideboard, though, Ross does get a bit of different dimensions, right? Like Experimental Frenzy can overwhelm a Wild Growth Walker draw, for example. And for some reason, Mr. Arilax did not put one copy of Reclamation Sage in his deck, which is a tilt. And we just now noticed that. But I think one Reclamation Sage can go a long way, just having a lot of ways to tutor for it. And giving you that way to disenchant, I think, is important, especially after sideboard. We're going to be bringing Wild Growth Walker, Lava Coil. These cards are quite good. And then one copy of Adzakan Archer as a way to fight some of those 1-toughness creatures, as well as give us a pretty stout toughness body that can play defense against a lot of Ross's stuff. I think it's just a slam dunk one of.
Also cool with Neoform. Comes in as 2/5, fight something bigger.
Yeah, and also once it has done its job, just Neoforming it into a Rekindling Phoenix is quite strong as well. We're going to be adding those in, and we're going to be cutting Vivian's Arcbow. This card is significantly better when your opponent gives you time to set up, as well as just when operating at instant speed is important. I think Arcbow is going to be a home run against control, really good against other mid-range decks, and pretty poor against other aggressive decks. We're also going to be trimming Lenore Elves. I think the splash damage from stuff like Judith and Footlight Fiend and things of that nature are a little too good against it. I'm not sure that it is worse than Incubation Druid. It might actually just be better, and that was another cut that I was thinking of. And cutting any of your cheap stuff might just be a mistake because you just want to do more stuff more quickly.
You're also making it more difficult for you to find Wild Growth Walker by cutting your ones.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I kind of just want to naturally draw the Wild Growths and then naturally draw the Branch Walkers and then turn those into Jade Light Rangers. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I could just cut the Incubation Druids instead. That's probably fine. And then we're going to be cutting one Skargan Hellkite and one Legion War Boss. Hellkite quite good against mid-range strategies. Okay against control. Pretty bad against aggro just because it's pretty expensive. And whereas something like Biogenic Ooze can provide you with multiple bodies to play defense.
Yeah, I do think Hellkite is solid in the matchup, but you need to lower your curve, and it seems
still
like the
have one
worst
to
high drop.
find.
Yeah, you still have your one. You have one Ravager Worm.
Yeah,
which is nice, and I think both Ravager Worm and Biogenic Ooze just have more immediate impact in aggressive matchups. So if you're going to trim, that's the one you trim, even though it's a fine card.
All right, Mr. Robbo, any questions for us while we're shuffling up here for match number 3, game 3?
Nick Miller wants to know if you think there might be a secret proliferate card that sneaks into Infect in some form. Says he's dreaming of crop rotating for Karn's Bastion activation for lethal.
Well, you already got Tezra's Gambit, man. Just play that if you're trying to play in older formats. I think Tezra's Gambit is just significantly underplayed. I don't know. There might be a cool one that we haven't seen yet, but the one that Ross played in the second match with Landfall seemed like it could be pretty good. You know,
that's an awkward one for Infect to play with their low land count, though. They need some cheap proliferate effect.
Right, but I mean, in Legacy, for example, you can play one of with Green Sun Zenith. If you get 1 chip damage in, then you just every fetch land becomes 2. Every crop rotation becomes a fetch land becomes 2. it's a way to deal a lot of poison damage quickly.
Yeah.
And I never minded the Green Sun Zenith versions so that you could play a Viridian Corruptor. And I think Chalice the Void is on the rise in Legacy right now. So
didn't they make a card that's like put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, then proliferate or something? Is that not a card they?
Yeah, I think it's actually there's a 3 mana, put 2 counters on a creature, and it gets unblockable. I don't think there's one that proliferates, but I could be wrong.
I thought they made like a proliferate pump spell, but maybe I'm just making that up.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
My hand's great though.
Proliferate pump spell sounds exactly like something they would do.
Yeah.
My hand's great too. Wow, you are losing this game. Here you go. Well, in the first few turns, if you want to ask us some questions too, feel free.
Got a gutter bones.
What are your thoughts on the arc bow overall? I know before you were kind of fans of it, but have you played with it anymore?
I mean, I haven't really played with it much more since then, but I think that it's quite good. Fine, 18.
Got him.
If he could straight kill it, then that's fine. I'm about to gain 1 million life, so. What do you got him? You got a fanatical firebrand. All right, let's go to 16.
Yep.
Play Jade Light.
Trigger on the stack, firebrand it.
Yeah, so I'm going to gain 6 and explore twice.
Yeah, this is a problem.
We don't have a land, but I just want more of those. So, all right, so I'm at 22.
Yeah, this is not going well.
Here we go. I mean, you have some ways to kill it, right? Cast down would be nice here.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't draw those.
Okay. Sure. Block.
Yeah, unfortunately, 5 toughness is out of range of my 3 power plus Judith. You can go.
I'll gain 6. 28. Here it go. Or land. Here it go.
We're going to need to draw this one of Frenzy. That is not it. You can go.
Another day. Land. Wow, cool. We'll keep that on top. Gain 6 more life.
34.
Another counter on this thing. And
Merfolk Branch Walker.
Yep.
37.
I think it's actually pretty safe to attack, but I think I'll just not. Sorry, this gets counter as well.
Yeah. Not attacking?
No. Here we go.
So there is a proliferate pump spell that has been previewed. It's Courage and Crisis, 2 and a green. Put a +1/+1 and then proliferate.
Okay.
If it was 2 mana, maybe you could play that one in Legacy or Modern, because then like you get a counter on their creature, then give them a thing. I guess it's basically just a giant growth, but worse. But I guess it also like works against Chalice, so maybe you would want something like that, like Tezzeret's Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
But at 3 mana, it's probably worse than Gambit.
Sure.
You can go.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, dude. All right, gain 6 more. Leave this on top. Play Stomping Ground.
You're 43.
Yep. Lava Cold to Judith.
Yep.
Attack for 10.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But you don't have to kill these. So literally, if I block with everything, Todd just puts these first, and like doesn't assign any damage to the Footlight Fiend.
Yeah, it's only 7 damage. I'm just gonna kill these 2 and leave you, or maybe kill 3 of them and leave you with like a few extra.
Yeah, I mean you can literally just kill these. Maybe I get to kill a Jade Light then, so like maybe you only kill 1 of them. I don't know. But either way, I don't get to kill the Wild Growth Walker by blocking. So let's just take 10.
Here we go. You know, I'm kind of thinking Neofrom might not be very good. I have drawn it every game, and I have yet to find a single point where I want to cast it. I already ran out of Jade Light Rangers. I can't even go get another one.
Make a zombie.
All right, they all have Menace. So 2/2 zombie, right? Justin Parnell? Or it's in a mass 2.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's 2. And then the next turn, it could get 2 counters on it, I suppose.
Now all my creatures have Menace. That's
Yeah, I can only block 2 of them, but I'm at 37.
You're at 43. You missed the other 6.
43.
You've gained 27 life this game.
43.
You can go. I think I would have preferred this be Experimental Frenzy.
Probably. Probably. I'm just going to attack with everything. I don't even care. I'm going to attack with everything. Are you dead? Can we go to the next game? Yes? Just say go to the next game if you're going to draw 10 cards.
Yeah, we can go to the next game.
Okay.
I was just seeing what would have happened if I had played Experimental Frenzy that turn.
Would you have gone off?
I would have played a lot of things, but I wouldn't have found a cast down.
That turn? You would have played a lot of things?
No.
Oh, in the following turn?
Yeah.
Questions? Comments? Digs on Ross?
People are wondering if you think Flux Channeler could work in Infect, and that also seems not great.
I actually think Flux Channeler is kind of cool.
I think the card's good, but I don't think it's good.
I mean, all your pump spells, if they have one counter, all of your pump spells deal 1 point. I don't think it's good, but it's interesting. I mean, I think Flux Channeler, the card, is nuts. I just have no idea how to use it. But, like, literally it'll proliferate whenever you cast anything that's not a creature or whatever, you know? It's like, come on. It's good. You just got to find ways to abuse it. And Planeswalkers are the very easy way to do it, and they trigger it to put counters on other Planeswalkers.
It's non-creature spell proliferate?
Yeah.
That was Instant or Sorcery.
You play a non-creature spell proliferate.
Okay, well that makes Planeswalkers an easy pairing. I thought it was Instant or Sorcery, which would make it difficult to make things like that work.
Agree.
Because it's hard to have a high density of instants and sorceries and a high density of things to proliferate onto.
Also agree. You're up.
Sand is pretty good if we draw a red source, and pretty unplayable if we don't.
Yeah.
And the deck does not have as many red sources, so I don't think I can keep that.
My hand is literally just Wild Growth and Jade Light and some lands and stuff, so I'm keeping it. Again, drew Neoform again. I have no desire to cast it at any time. I do not think. I don't think that that's a good thing. I feel like this card is just not good.
That would seem to be what that would indicate.
Thank you, Rob.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just throwing in my 2 cents. I don't know.
Spend 2 mana. Upgrade. Let me see you upgrade. Now, if there was like a, I don't know, 3 or 4 mana creature that said one of ETBs, like, do 2 to everything, you know, that would be something worthwhile. But, like, sacrificing a Jade Light to go get a Rekindling Phoenix is whatever. You know, who cares? Go.
Butcher.
Right,
You.
19.
You can go.
Ross, is there a reason you're not playing Midnight Reaper?
I wanted Playcrafter as an additional sack outlet. Just didn't have room for other 3s. I think Midnight Reaper was like kind of meh. Kill this thing.
Dead.
Play a ghoul. Attack you.
17.
You can go.
Ooh, that was a good draw.
Was it though?
Lava Coil, the Butcher.
Ugh. You need red mana for that.
Oh, actually, I have a red mana source in my hand. Duh. I don't know if I want Shock to do that. Could just play. See, next turn it's only going to be a 4/4 if it hits me. So yeah, let's just Jade Light Ranger instead. Top. Go.
Attack.
Block.
Take 3.
Yeah, I'm at 14.
You can go.
I will bounce the Diregraph Ghoul. Go.
Two ghouls. You can go. Not looking great here. Flooded a little bit. Didn't have a 1-drop to get ahead.
12. Rekindling Phoenix. Go. Thinking about throwing something at me?
Yep.
I mean, this might be the place to start with me at 12, but
let's do it.
At 10.
Let's try it.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really seen Fireblade artists start doing that at any point. That's
go.
Not bad. All right, let's draw. All right, no attack for 4.
16.
Play Wild Growth and Coil. Go.
Go.
Attack.
10.
All right, Neoform the Rekindling Phoenix. We're doing it. All right. Put a counter on it. I should, yeah, whatever. All right, I'll put 2 counters on it, and I'll shock to 8 and say go. Could I have just killed you this turn? 5. Oh, then one more. No, I'm stupid. All right, whatever. Go. Neoform on Rekindling Phoenix is quite good because it gives you 2 giant flyers. But
There you go. You found out where it was good.
yeah, we did it. Need more sticky creatures. Neoform with stuff like Hunted Witness or Footlight Fiend or some junk. Obviously, stretching the mana base is pretty hard, but you need more creatures that you want to sacrifice, as opposed to creatures that are pretty good once they hit the battlefield and then are kind of just okay. Like, you're heavily incentivizing against aggressive decks to just trade every creature you can at all points to protect your life total so that you get to the late game. And Neoform does not work in that vein. But at the same time, you also have to sacrifice as additional costs. So if your opponent negates or Sinister Sabotages your Neoform, you lose the creature also. So, you know, that means that Neoform is really only good against mid-range, right? And that's just not a great place to be.
Solid analysis.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
All right. Well, I think this is for marbles if we're playing a 5th game, right?
Yep.
Okay. Look, I kind of just want you to have them forever. I don't want them anymore.
I thought you already won the marbles.
Too much pressure.
Ross.
No, we're 2-2 in this match, and we traded 2 3-1s.
Oh.
I was up 2-0. I was up 2-0 in this match.
Misremembering the first match then for some reason.
Todd has come back.
First match was...
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I beat the crap out. I beat him 3-1.
I don't know.
I'm going to keep my hand, though.
All right. I'm going to mold 7.
I'm on the play, which is nice.
All right. Question me, dog.
What do you think about maybe making like a Sultai deck where you can then Neoform into Massacre Girl?
That sounds awesome. And I love it. And it's perfect. It's perfect in every way. Massacre Girl, perfect in every way.
That does sound really sweet.
You almost said a bad word.
Keyword almost.
Yeah. This hand's not even good.
You just drew 7 again.
Yeah, I know. I said I was going to mold 7. Look, I'll just leave and keep the marbles on my side because I don't really care. You can just have them. It's already 4 o'clock. You just
Let's
want
go.
them? Do you just want them?
No, we're playing the game.
All right, you're up.
18.
All right. Go.
Attack you for
18.
2. Play 2 Diregraph Ghouls.
Don't have a good draw, and you have a great draw. Ooh. All right. Slow you down a little. Let's coil one of these.
Probably the one that comes back.
No.
Huh.
This.
Really? Okay.
I have the stupid 1/4 Archer in my hand, okay? I want to fight your 2/1. Come on.
Attack.
All right. 14. I know what I'm doing.
I'm going to guess the answer is no to this question, but
You
do
can
you
go.
think that Parhelion 2, the angel-making vehicle, is constructed playable?
No. And also, Ross is just holding up a cast down instead of playing his creature because I told him I have a thing in my hand. I swear to God, if you have a 2-drop creature in your hand and you cast down my 1/4, I'm going to break your glass of marbles on the ground.
I do not have a 2-drop creature.
You have a 1-drop creature that you could have played.
Yes.
Information stealing cheater.
What? It's information derived from the fact that you killed this 2/2.
No, that's fine.
That is information that I can easily derive.
You win. That's fine. All right. I play my 1/4. Whatever.
Yeah, I kill your 1/4.
Go. Yes, I am mad.
Attack you for 6.
Okay, so this is in play. This is in play. This is in hand. This is not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
Okay, you're at 8.
Are you kidding?
My opening hand was 2 lands and 5 1-drops.
I already had this card. I'm drawing another card. Doesn't matter. I'm still dead. What am I at? 2, 4, 5, 6. I'm at 8. Okay, play Phoenix. Here you go. Ross just savage cheater. Okay, you win.
Block this one, go to 2.
Oh, I really wish you wouldn't make me do the things I don't want to do anymore. I already said you won, and then you made me play 2 more turns after I said you won.
The audience likes to see the games come to their natural conclusion.
Oh, do they? Then why do you concede so often when I haven't killed you?
You concede way earlier than I do, okay?
I go to fresh games pretty regularly when I miss a 3rd land drop, and I know the game's going to last for 5 more turns, and I can't possibly win.
Yeah.
I scrub those.
Yeah, that's fine. Outside of those,
This
you still
game,
concede more
you
than
cheated, and I'm mad.
You killed my 2/2 when normally you would lava coil a 2/1.
Oh, would I?
So
What if I just had an Llanowar Elves in my hand, and I just wanted to block that one?
that's still probably not right.
I don't care, dude. I'm just
And
mad.
you didn't play
I'm
Llanowar
just
Elves on
mad.
turn 1.
Look, I'm just mad. Can I just be mad? Is that okay?
Sure.
Thanks. You got your marbles. You got everything you ever wanted.
Do
Got them. You win.
We got some subs. We're already over 4 o'clock. I don't want Todd to get fired.
Oh,
So
I'm
we
not getting fired. You're missing the bus, is what's happening.
Grumpalert, Wolfman 1776, Dolfolo 564, Mac Barishin, the MTG Zealot, and Mick Lodge. Thank you all for subscribing.
Hey, much appreciated. I'm just giving Ross a hard time. He actually made a pretty smart play. There's a chance that I should just kill the 2/1 and hope that he plays another 1 toughness creature, but like I fall pretty far behind there if I, let's say, kill the 2/2 and then he plays a Judith or whatever. Like I still need to be able to like kill another creature, at least to stem the bleeding. I mean, you still get to kill my
if I play
my
Judith,
1/4. Yeah, I mean, you could have also just played like a Fireblade Artist or whatever, and then I just need to be able to kill something and block.
As it turned out, if you kill my 2/1, then I play the 2 Firebrands and attack you to 12.
Yeah, that would have been
kill one
fantastic,
of them.
and I would have been.
I cast down that, attack you to 7.
Yeah.
Then you play the Phoenix, and then I play Artist plus Footlight Fiend with
I was
you at
still dead.
7. And you would on that attack you would take 4, go to 3 after blocking the Footlight Fiend. Then you're at 3.
Yeah,
and
you should just beat me straight up instead of cheating.
Okay. Well,
Ross doesn't like to get called a cheater.
Dreadhorde Butcher has not looked great, actually. It's the other creatures that were looking good in these decks. Like Judith is incredibly powerful.
I mean, yeah, we figured out Judith was good last set. Or way earlier. No, it was last set, right? Rakdos was recent. But we just couldn't find a good home for it. And that was always the problem. Like, everyone knew that Judith was good. The card obviously has a ton of text for 3 mana. Does some stuff. But yeah, in both decks, though, Judith was the standout as the card that was the most impressive to me. But there is something to be said about just getting more cards that help you surround a really powerful entity.
Yeah, and it might be that Dreadhorde Butcher is the next best one, but it hasn't felt great.
I mean, from my side, every time I blocked it, I was still just taking a chunk of damage. And, and I from your side, when we were playing the first match, there were a lot of spots where you were heavily incentivized to trade in certain spots when you didn't really want to, because if you waited a turn, there was a chance I'd just get to 2-for-1 you, and it does just get worse. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Maybe I'm not giving it its fair shake. One thing we do know for sure, though, is Neofrom was not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's look, it's not good in this deck, and this deck has a lot of things that you want to sacrifice, but the problem is you don't have a lot of things you want to search for, and I think that's the big issue. When you have like an extra Llanowar Elves or Merfolk Branchwalker just kind of lying around. You can Neoform it. You're not really getting anything. Like,
yeah, you need the creatures to sacrifice for value to really like expand your battlefield to make that worthwhile. And there's nothing at 2 and 3 that does it. It's really just Rekindling Phoenix. And the time you sacked Phoenix, it looked great. Mm-hmm. You were really happy with that, and that's because it's that thing that leaves something behind. Even if they reuse their removal spell on the egg that they couldn't use on the Phoenix, you're still up a creature and they're down a removal spell.
Yeah.
So you're fine with that exchange, but you really need something in the 2 and 3 mana spot that you're happy sacrificing that leaves something behind on the battlefield. And I'm not sure if there is something.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is either.
Yeah.
One thing is for sure, though, with Eldritch Evolution and Neoform in Modern, there's a chance that there's just like some creature-based combo that you want to play to let you do some really busted stuff. Like if you sacrifice a 2-mana creature, that lets you get Renegade Rallier, so it negates the whole sacrifice to begin with. That's like a very obvious like value train that you can run on.
2-mana 4/3.
Right. And, Neoform also doesn't exile itself like a lot of those other cards do, I don't think. Let me double check on it. Which means that you can actually use it alongside Eternal Witness to chain a 2 into a 4. Yep, no exile. Cool. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm not sure if it's good, but it is another effect that is interesting. And in older formats where you get more creature-based combos and you get all sorts of powerful tutor effects, like the reason why this wasn't good is because I had nothing great to search for. Like I had nothing that was going to enter the battlefield and kill 2 creatures, or nothing that was going to enter the battlefield and draw 3 cards.
It was all just marginal value, and you can do that by just having another marginal creature in your mid-range deck.
Absolutely. So, Neoform, probably not a hit in Standard. Could be good in Modern. Might be good in a different shell. What was the card someone said earlier that you could search for? Masker Girl. Yep. Finding Masker Girl. That's big. That's a big deal. That card is messed up. So, maybe. But...
also, like, Hostage Taker, their thing. Play the thing that you took and then sack the Hostage Taker.
Yeah, that's kind of cool,
Find your Masker Girl. Yeah, maybe we just need to look bigger and go for weird effects like that.
Yeah, so interesting builds nonetheless.
That's a back to the Gatherer.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, any questions before we holler? By holler, I mean leave.
One. What did you think of Feather, the new legendary Boros Angel? Have you seen that?
It made me really want to play Heroic. Like a lot.
Do you think that's a deck that could exist with the 2-drop that
the one that has Heroic, just by another name.
Yeah,
maybe, probably not though. The reason why that deck was ever good was always because of Ordeal of Thassa. We do have Curious Obsession, and if there's maybe an amalgamation of creatures that allows for that to be good, maybe. The problem is, Feather is not the card that works well with those cards, right? It only triggers on instant sorceries. So Curious Obsession doesn't really do anything. Something like Dive Down with it's pretty good though. Dive Down to protect it, and then the Dive Down comes back.
It's tough on the mana though.
Yes,
you make the mana work. Maybe you got something.
But I'm not sure if that's better than just playing mono blue. Just tried and true, does all the same kind of things, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, and has actual counter spells against decks that can ignore you.
Yeah, so might be just kind of stretching a little too thin. I do think Feather is interesting with... there's a card from Ixalan that deals 2 to a creature you control and 4 to a creature you don't control.
Rage.
Reckless Rage. So there's every turn cycle, you actually get to kill 2 creatures, which is pretty busted. So that's something to keep in mind. Anything that says your creature fights another creature and it chooses targets works with it. So, Prey Upon or whatever costs 1 mana is, it's fine. But that's not a constructed playable interaction, I don't think.
Yeah, Reckless Rage is interesting, but then you need more things to make your Reckless Rage good, and that's tough to do, especially in a deck that's probably going to want to be aggressively slanted, so your cheap creatures aren't going to have really high toughness.
Well, there's the 2-mana 2/3 flyer that shuts down the land stuff. There's things you can play that have high toughness for cheap investment. The 2-drop creature that gets a +1/+1 counter whenever you target it.
Yeah, I guess the actual Heroic one does work, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple, and there might be something there. And at the very least, it's just something to keep an eye out for in future formats, just like having Feather and anything that says target creature, could be good as long as it does some pretty powerful thing, So it just gives value potentially to future cards at the very least.
Yeah. No, definitely a powerful card, and one that is going to be tough to evaluate and build around, but we'll be looking into that one. You'll see it either this week or next.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for Versus Live today. Appreciate y'all coming out. A lot of new stuff we learned about War of the Spark, a bunch of the new cards. An interesting combo with Ral and an expansion, but one that might be a little too cheeky. Ral's Outburst looked pretty sweet. Neoform underperformed. Dread Horde Butcher, I think, is solid. I don't know if it's good. I think it's solid. And then a couple of the Simic cards that you were using looked quite good as well.
Yeah, and then Tulsimer looked very good.
Yeah, and Tulsimer looked good as well. So things to keep an eye on, things that we are going to be taking into consideration as we prepare for another Versus Live on Thursday this week at 1 p.m. Make sure to tune back in for that. Don't sleep on it. We'll be back on Thursday at 1. You have an article going up this week about Tulsimir. I have an article going up this week about Ral, as well as Ral's Outburst. Both those cards are going to be the primary focus of my deck and or my article. So make sure to check out later this week on StarCgames.com. But for Ross Merriam, I'm Todd Anderson. I've talked enough unless you got something else.
No, we're good. I just thought it was funny that you're doing all Izzet cards and I'm all selecting cards. Just very on brand.
Yeah. All right. See you later. Thanks for watching.